Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Q&A for Walk the Path of Inner Harmony and Joy, Buddhist practices to recenter your awareness and approach suffering with wisdom, grace, and a light heart. I'm Nick Matos with the Shift Network, and it is my pleasure and honor to be your host as we explore the teachings of His Holiness the 12th Tai Situ Rinpoche and address questions about his upcoming course, which is beginning on Tuesday, October 20th at 9 a.m. Pacific. If you're unable to join us live, you can still participate in this course. I'll explain a little more about that later, but first, I'm honored to introduce my guest. His Holiness the Chamgon Kenteng Tai Situpa, popularly known as His Holiness Kenteng Tai Situ Rinpoche, is a great scholar, philosopher, poet, artist, architect, and geomancer. He is proclaimed in a number of sacred texts as the incarnation of Bodhisattva Maitreya in Tushita, who was heaven-crowned as the future Buddha in 623 BC and lived in subsequent incarnations as Guru Padmasambhava. His Holiness has authored more than 20 books in English and continuously teaches and transmits the sacred lineage of Dharma to disciples from all over the world. Please join me in welcoming His Holiness the 12th Tai Situ Rinpoche, who will start by leading us in an opening practice. Your Holiness, it is an absolute honor and pleasure to have you.
Yes. I'm happy to be with all of you. And first of all, as a Buddhist monk, I salute to Buddha and also welcome all of you who I believe from the bottom of my heart sincerely as the future Buddha. Therefore, it is a pleasure to be with you and interact with you.
Thank you so much, Your Holiness. We're going to spend the rest of our time together exploring some questions for His Holiness the 12th Tai Situ Rinpoche as we prepare for his video course, Walk the Path of Inner Harmony and Joy, which begins on Tuesday, October 20th at 9 a.m. Pacific. Please visit our website, pathtoinnerharmony.com. Again, that's pathtoinnerharmony.com, all one word, to learn more about this 5-module course and to find a link to register. So let's get right into questions. Thank you again to all those who sent questions ahead of time through our webcast. And for today's first question, we're going to take one from Erica Lynn. Rinpoche, Your Holiness, how do we work with loss in a skillful manner?
Lust. Do you mean loss or laugh?
Loss, as in the loss of life, the loss of hope.
Okay. Yes. Actually, loss is something which will be defined through clear understanding, because certain aspect of loss is physical, some loved one, dear one, and another aspect is loss of some things such as property, finance, like that. And then another thing is loss of direction. You lost the direction. And so all of these will be dealt individually, of course, but one element which is common to all of them, although they are very, very different, each one of them, but one that is common to all of them is our clinging to whatever we lose. So there is a big difference between true love and then emotional attachment. Quite a big difference. So in this, when we lose somebody who is very dear to us, loved ones, then if we have lots of emotional attachment, then that will be felt very strongly, but stronger than it is balanced with the reality. Because, for example, I use myself as an example, is better for everybody. I don't offend anybody. So let's say, if my best friend, then that person about to lose me because I am sick and dying, for example, then I will tell my friend, I will miss you too, but I don't want you to suffer from losing me. Therefore, you let me go, and I let you go when the time comes. But eternal love and care and respect and trust for each other will remain, and that nothing will take it away. But external things are impermanent. So I am impermanent. My friend, you are impermanent. So although it is hard, we should not make it harder than it is. So like that. But then there's much more deeper way to deal with it. When the person who is asking question, say spiritually. So now spiritual means it involves the spirit of the person, spirit of yourself. So in the spirit of me and my friend, then there the loss will not be relevant, because only physical existence will be lost. And so that is about a person. But then when it comes to getting lost without direction, then most important thing is, it is for you to know the direction. Relatively, we needed to get it from outside, but the true direction is within you. And you have all the remedies to overcome everything, all the loss or whatever that is within you. And you have to take a step back and relax, and then willing to look within you. And there you find the direction which is compatible to your potential. Each one of us have ultimate potential identical, but each one of us have relative potential individually. And individuality is very important. No one can impose anything upon anybody and expect it to work successfully. So therefore, it will be the individual who willing to and wish to, and put the effort to find the way, find the direction. So I think any of these definition lost, then the person can relate to it and translate it into the particulars.
Wonderful. And that ties in beautifully with another question that came in from a viewer. What does it mean when you say that the mind, spirit, and essence are immortal?
Okay. Actually, this is a very, very, very profound question, because mind and spirit and essence, if I may, I will add a few more. The consciousness, and then emotion, and the brain mind and the heart mind. So all of this versatile as it sounds, but the essence is the primordial, limitless, ineffable, undescribable, but miraculously or magically, or whatever word you like to use, you can feel it. Because when I say, I don't understand, then I understand, I don't understand. When I say, I cannot see, but then I see, I cannot see. So this way, the self and the emotional self, all of these are relative, but it is directly connected to the greater, higher self. And higher self is a deeper, a primordial essence. And many times we will start by saying selflessness. But selflessness is not really denial of self. But when you go beyond self, for example, when you love so much your only child, then you will do so many things without any self-interest for the welfare of that child, especially when the child is helpless, like infant. The same way, not only child, from time to time, we encounter pure love, pure compassion, pure warm-heartedness. Then we feel that sense of deeper essence of ourself. Maybe a few minutes back or a few hours back, we could have experienced lots of anguish and maybe even anger or jealousy or anything like that. But then when we are evolved into this love and compassion and devotion, if you like, and sincerity, then we really experience or manifest that deeper essence of ourself, which is nothing different from deeper essence of everyone and everything. But I think that is maybe little too much far-fetched at this point. But essence of each and every one of us, more than our body, more than our speech, more than our emotion. It is greater and also brighter and also more higher than our very basic concept of who we are, that always change from time to time, from situation to situation.
What a truly brilliant answer. And it is wonderful to be in your presence and the presence of such deep wisdom from such an extraordinary elder. And the next question from viewer Jennifer also has to do with elders. So to read her full text for it, my dearest Guru, my question is related to our elderly parents. Myself and other friends have similar problems. Our parents are 80 plus. They can change their moods from one minute to another. For example, they can go from angry with us due to things bothering them caused by other people and problems. They can also forget things that when we remind them and get angry at us. What's the best way to deal with anger at this moment in time?
So I personally think that is quite easy, but then it will be easier said than done for lots of people according to their individual relationship and also everything else that goes with it. So elderly persons specifically, I am speaking from my background, my upbringing, my sort of thinking. For me, the older persons are our gem because they have seen everything. And they have taken care of us, especially our parents, for example. And then they know so much. They have done so much. They deserve all of our time, all of our energy, and all of our care. So that is how I would think. Maybe in my case, my father no more, my mother no more, and now I have my teacher who is 99 years old and who is with me wherever I go, who is also here with me. He's upstairs. And so when we are with them, we should try our best to appreciate it as very precious moments. And then when they are angry and when they are confused, my teacher is not, but many people I know, they have this biological and also neurological and brain function and so many things, forget things and throw things at you sometimes, and also misunderstands, miscommunicates, and sometimes really euphoric, sometimes really temper tantrum, like that. And so when this happens, I think we who is not experiencing that ourselves, but we are experiencing that of our parents or elders, then we can and should understand they don't mean it. They were not like that, but now they are like that because of getting old, brain is not functioning, and also many things that involves in different societies, which also creates that kind of environment. And this way, understanding the reason clearly then will help us able to, first of all, tolerate it. Secondly, appreciate their problem by respecting their problem. And then we can handle it. I have one example. I am a monk, but then I see people with young children. They are very nice, but sometimes some children's really super naughty and super noisy and super running around, but the parents really don't see the kind of difficulties, but instead they adore everything that their child is saying or doing. So this is a very nice experience for me, because when you are a monk, you don't have a child of your own. Therefore, you don't have this kind of experience. As a result of that, then others with the children, especially maybe like 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. In certain cases, 8, 9 years, maybe normally 6, 7 years old. Then lots of energy, lots of running around. Then parents will have 2 more children to take care. So this one who can run around is doing everything their best. So way they tolerate it, not only that, way they even admire it is wonderful, wonderful. It's all in your heart. So I think we should extend our warm heart and a light heart and a sincerity towards the elders. Then whatever their difficulties are, we will be able to assist them. At the same time, we will be able to not get annoyed by them and react back to them, which is not very good for them and also not very good for us. I hope my answer is close enough.
There are many gems of wisdom inside of that answer. And it ties in very beautifully with another question that came in from a viewer, which is that I understand that the Buddha teaches that every living being is perfect. How do we grow, advance, and evolve if we are already in a perfect state?
Yeah. Buddha said every living beings as well as everything around the living beings, that means everything else, everyone and everything, they are ultimately primordial perfect. But relatively, so again, I use myself as an example. So, everyone is a Buddha, yes, ultimately. But I am not Buddha yet. I have long way to go. I have so much baggage from past. And also, as a result of that, I have to maintain constant mindfulness and awareness to transform every aspect of happenings and make sure they don't become negative and worse. So that way, I'm not saying I am the highest example, but I again use myself as an example because I can't offend myself. So that way, ultimately, yes, but relatively not. So everything that we are doing to improve ourselves is relatively we are improving ourselves. Ultimately, we don't have any fault, any shortcoming. Having said that, if I didn't go to school, I wouldn't even know how to read the alphabet. So I have to do these things to progress and improve myself. So that is technically necessary. And that doesn't take away the ultimate perfectness in the essence.
Marvelous. For those just tuning in, we're here with His Holiness the 12th Tai Situ Rinpoche, learning about his course, Walk the Path of Inner Harmony and Joy, which begins on Tuesday, October 20th. Please log in to path2innerharmony.com. Again, that is path2innerharmony.com, all one word, for all the details and to register. And while we're talking about walking the path of inner harmony and joy, Your Holiness, what is joy?
Okay. The joy have so many levels and so many aspects of joy. And again, it is emotional joy, and also it is a deeper manifestation of harmony within. And then I think it is quite accurate for me to say at this point, joy is outcome of harmony. For example, you can truly be joyful when you are truly confident. And you are able to smile and even laugh out of joy when you don't feel that you have to be wearing this armor of not smiling and not laughing. And so that way, the joy is able to trust yourself and trust everything around you, and also your ability to effectively, let's say, cruise through all aspects of things that life may offer. I think it's safe to say that this way. So then also, when you have done good things, kind things, you are able to do those things, then you will feel joy. The joy of being kind is priceless. And joy of accomplishing something that is meaningful for others is priceless, because naturally, when you feel so good, then it is without any doubt, it is good for you. Because when you feel good and joyful, then it's good for you. And joy have so many levels. The highest and the deepest aspect of joy should be when you truly become free of all negativity, negative emotions, neurosis, defilements, as well as all aspect of cause and condition of suffering. That should be true joy. But before that, all of us can experience lots of joy. Of course, all of you, including the one who asked the question, experiences joy many times in your life. Yes.
Wonderful. We have a few questions that have came in from people who are currently contending with physical illness or disease, who are looking for advice as they're in their healing process. What advice do you have for somebody who is going through a physical healing?
Actually, this question is very timely because humanity is gone through and going through a very, very difficult time when it comes to physical health. And as a result of that, it will also affect the mental health. Because right now, all of us, our mind and body are inseparable. And although mind have no form, no shape, no limitation, body have form, shape, all kind of limitation, but this limitless mind, essence of mind, is in this body. I don't want to say trapped, but I have already said that. So in this body, so that way, whatever happens to body, it affects our mind. Now, most important thing in this situation is, I can say something about this because I myself have been sick since I was a child. So when I was about 8-9 years old, every day I have to receive injections for 3 solid years. And then also I am, how do you say, in and out of hospital for many years. So that way I can say something about this with personal experience. Actually, when you are sick, then the body is sick. And if mind get affected by it, then body sickness become worse. And you know your mind is not sick. The pains and aches here and there are your body. And it is like the home, the house have a bad window, bad door, bad floor, leaking ceiling, and all kind of leaking roofs and all kind of things, cracking floor, all kind of things. But person who lives inside it is not having all these problems, but the person inside it is seriously affected by it, then it is very hard and lots of helplessness and lots of insecurity. So first of all, we have to know body is very important for our mind. Home should be in order, and therefore we should take care. What we eat, what we do, that I don't have to say. Everybody know how to do that. But then beside that, you have to know that your mind have the power to overcome all of body's problem. But how much you and I can succeed that depends on how much I or you evolved. Therefore, by knowing this, then it gives us quite clear knowledge, and knowledge transforms into wisdom about the body illness. And then when it comes to mental illness, also the essence of the mind, limitless essence, potential, will never get sick, will never have mental problem. But the emotional mind, this mind sense, then a mind that functions through brain, all of that can be sick due to the unfavorable conditions and also shortcomings that happens in those areas. And so when we are able to see this clearly, then we can minimize the effect of our sickness, as well as we will build positive motivation and attitude, so that that will help us to have the will to get better. And that will make a huge differences. So there's so many things that will be very much affected by how we perceive our illness in this regard, but in principle, how we perceive anything else.
That is absolutely brilliant. So we do have time for a few more questions, but before we take those, I wanted to share a few details about Walk the Path of Inner Harmony and Joy. Join with His Holiness the 12th Tai Situ Rinpoche for this 5-week journey, where he'll guide you in the practice of centering your awareness on your higher nature to help you fortify yourself so you're better equipped to weather outer storms and to emanate peace, love, and joy throughout. This 5-module course takes place on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, starting on October 20th. You'll receive audio and video replays, transcripts, and any other materials through your course homepage. Also, I'd like to remind you that we do offer a no-risk money-back guarantee on our courses, giving you a full 2 weeks until October 27th to make sure you absolutely love it. As an added option, all participants are welcomed to connect to a private community group that we host on Facebook to stay connected to one another through your journey. Everyone who registers receives the Inner Harmony and Joy bonus collection, which includes Tibetan Buddhist Dohas, a set of 3 video poems from His Holiness, and Monastery Summer Retreat Overview, a short video tour from His Holiness. And when you register by midnight Pacific on October 14th, you'll also receive Wisdom from the Dalai Lama, an audio teaching from the Dalai Lama with commentary from Kate Kumbo and Emily Hine. So now that we have all of the promo in place, Your Holiness, I'm curious about this question from Orla Christine. Dear precious Guru Vajradhara, I can't seem to meditate or practice so well anymore. Can you please advise me how to overcome these obstacles? I feel I'm regressing in many aspects. Thank you.
Okay. I think many people think meditation is a very difficult thing. There is this misunderstanding. I think this misunderstanding includes people think when you meditate, you're not supposed to think. You're not supposed to have thoughts. All kind of things. So these are very big obstacle. For example, if you think, I not supposed to think, that is very big thinking, you know. So therefore, it is just illogical. And also, you say, now I'm going to meditate for 15 minutes. That is also thinking. During this, I'm not supposed to think of anything else. That is also thinking. So the methods are so many, but each one of those methods has to be understood clearly. And those methods does not amount to anything but a method. No. And when you are having your breakfast, your fork and knife and plate and cup and everything is means to enjoy your breakfast. It is not your breakfast. So those methods are method. But the essence of the meditation, the foundation is to have calm mind. You should be able to calm down. You should be able to relax. And when we climb a mountain and sit on top of the hill and see the far-reaching horizon, and we feel so fresh, that is natural meditation. And when we try to feel like that in a room, our own home, and without fresh air, without view, then difficult. But there, we just calm down and relax. So when we have let's say, when we manage to calm down, then calm mind is efficient mind. Restless mind is not efficient. Same thing with the hand. If your hand is steady and calm, you can do lots of things. But if your hand is shaking and restless, you cannot do lots of things. So this way, the efficiency of you become many folds better when your mind is calm. So basic foundation of meditation is to be calm. So my friend, my brother, my sister, whoever is asking this question, you know how to meditate. You can meditate. But I think you are trying to do something else. You are trying to be something else. You are expecting meditation to be some sort of magical thing that changes everything right away in a dramatic sense. It is not like that. We don't want any dramatic change, because if we have something dramatic happen, then it will also fall apart dramatic. So we want slow, steady, happy, calm, true maturing of ourselves. Less emotion, less fear, less restlessness. And if you have fear that you can't meditate, that is not good. Therefore, you should not have this kind of result or effect from doing meditation. So when you have difficulties with your meditation, that's what you think, then you let go of it. Then just relax. Then there you are, meditating. So I hope this is helpful for you.
To be very honest, it was helpful for me as well. It's extraordinary. I have a question that came in from listener Olga. Your Holiness, what would you say to a person who is afraid of death?
I have to be very careful with this subject because it can be misunderstood in many, many ways. So please listen carefully. That's my request. I don't want my words to cause you misunderstanding. In that case, I will be misrepresenting the sacred Dharma. So now, ultimately, our mind, essence of our mind, essence of our spirit, not the brain mind, but essence of the brain mind. So it is immortal. It is not made out of elements, fire, water, air, earth, space, not from these things. It is beyond all of that, as well as essence of all of that. So therefore, our mind, essence of our mind is immortal. We never died, we will never die ultimately. And now, when you understand this and appreciate this, that depends on so many things. But then, when we say death, we are talking about the death of this physical body. When this physical body is no more a functioning and efficient host for our mind, then the body dies. The mind leaves the body. And therefore, of course, we should be afraid of dying. That is important. Otherwise, the whole society will be quite a strange society. It can even be negative. So we like to live. We should appreciate life. We should cherish life. We should value life. That is very important. But we should not be neurotic about the death, because sooner or later, I'm going to die. And I know everybody is going to die. And 100 years from now, even newborn child of today, most of them might be here, except the centenarians, who lived 100 years, they will be here. But not so many people live that long. And of course, our medical advancement prolongs life quite dramatically, but it will not reach everybody. It will have so many conditions. For example, you have to take very good care of yourself. Otherwise, just you don't take care, and the medical professionals and experts can make your life live forever. That is unfair expectation. So live your life, make your life meaningful as possible. And also should preserve life of other people. And people come to me and say, my friend is very, very sick. And so he don't want to go to hospital. She don't want to go to hospital. What I should do? And I say, you and I have no authority to impose our will on anybody. Having said that, when somebody is sick and in pain, then it is our duty to assist them and make their life comfortable as possible. So therefore, person is not dead until person is dead. Until the person is dead, there is a hope. Of course, false hope with the cost of so much pain and agony is not very wise. But having said that, nobody have a right to let somebody die when the person is still living. And there you have to really rely on your wisdom, your knowledge, your sincerity, and your ability, because the sincerity is very good. But sincerity without ability is quite helpless. Ability is very good, but ability without sincerity also is quite not very helpful, because it can go so many ways, and many times it can go wrong. So therefore, I appreciate you are afraid to die. That means you like to live. That's wonderful. But then when the inevitable happens to you or me, then we should not be overwhelmed by it. We should be able to go happily, go positively. I say this to my friends, but don't misunderstand me, okay? I like to live as long as possible, of course. I'm happy to live. But when the time comes, then I want to die smiling. And when my friends come to see me after my death, when I die smiling, then it will make them feel positive. So therefore, don't be afraid. When the inevitable happens, die smiling. But until that, you do your best to live long as possible and live healthy as possible.
What an extraordinary hour of wisdom this has been so far. Thank you all so much for joining us. Walk the Path of Inner Harmony and Joy begins on Tuesday, October 20th. Again, please visit path2innerharmony.com. Again, path2innerharmony.com to learn more and to register. And as a reminder, if you do so by midnight on October 14th, you'll receive the special bonus of Wisdom from the Dalai Lama, an audio teaching from the Dalai Lama with commentary from Kate Kumbo and Emily Hine. Your Holiness, I would love to hear, for those listening today, to close us out, what would be the one thing that someone could do today to help bring them closer to walking that path of inner harmony and joy?
One thing is very difficult, because each individual can do their own level best, and which will be quite different from one another. Having said that, I would say one thing that everybody can do to make their life meaningful is to respect themselves, equally respect everyone else. And at the same time, every move that you do physically, mentally, orally, you be mindful, and you do it with mindfulness and awareness. You do it with grace, and you do it gently. So that way, the gentleness and the gracefulness is the outcome of sincere and greater purpose, greater noble purpose. So when you respect yourself as a precious human life, then you will value your time and energy in a most healthy way. Not by saying, I have no time to waste on you because I have understood the precious human life. No. My understanding of precious human life will be worthless, even negative, if that makes me arrogant. Then one should appreciate one's life and one's knowledge, and then implement that, apply that to assist others to have. You shouldn't be presumptuous, but at least have appreciation of their life if it looks like they are struggling with it. If they are doing well, instead of envy and jealous, you should appreciate it. Why not? Good for you, good for him, good for her. So this way, the appreciation, respect, instead of envy and jealous. Jealous is terrible. Jealous means you don't like others being happy. That naturally means you might like when others are suffering. That's terrible, terrible. So I shouldn't be like that. And I'm sure none of you are like that. But all of us have to be mindful and aware, especially when we are doing well. Then we will be more and more humble and more graceful. And when we are not doing well, also we have to be mindful, because out of desperation, we might do things, say things negatively, which makes everything worse. So therefore, in good times, in bad times, please don't lose your cool.
Thank you so much, Your Holiness. It has been an absolute pleasure and an absolute honor. Thank you for blessing us today.
Welcome. It's great pleasure. I sincerely hope everything that I have said here is satisfactory in certain ways, maybe 5%, maybe 10%, maybe 50%, to fulfill the need of your question. And anyway, I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed every one of your questions very much, and I have learned from them as well. So thank you, and take good care. And I, as a Buddhist monk, I say Buddha bless you. But if you are a believer of other spiritual path, then whatever you believe, that bless you. And then some people, I have friends who say they don't believe in anything. So then they don't believe in anything means they only believe in truth. And truth bless you. Yes.
Thank you all for joining us today. On behalf of everyone here at the Shift Network, I wish you to have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you in this course or in a future one. Thank you.